Kasi kapag pinilit na dun lang sa national road na pupunta yung pondo, yung mga daan na maayos ay pilit paulit-ulit na inaayos. National highway nyo, etong 30% lang para sa secondary roads. What happens? Either pipilitin ka na ipa-aspalto ang palagi ng ina-aspalto or ipasemento at gigibain ang maayos na semento at uulitin. Pagkatapos, mapipilitan ngayon na bulk of that funds will be spent on flood control projects.
Ay hindi po, Your Honor.
Magprangkahan na po tayo.
Deputy Minority Leader Antonio Tinio.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, Sec Vince, DPWH. Good afternoon. Una sa lahat, kanina pinag-isipan ko anong itatanong kasi maraming pwedeng itanong. So ito na lang napili namin. In the 2025 GAA, hindi pa nga thorough examination, pero meron na kaming nakita mga nasa GAA na triple entries and parang double entries, no? Ibig sabihin, mga ganon. For example, flood control structure, Barangay Mangorokoro, Ahoy, Iloilo. 3 beses po lumilitaw yan. May 3 different amounts, no? So yung isa nasa flood management program, 79 million. Tapos, 2 naman magkahiwalay, nasa ilalim ng SIPAG, 150 million each. So for a total of 379 million for this construction of flood control structure, Barangay Mangorokoro, Ahoy, Iloilo. Una po, very vague yung description, flood control structure. What is that? Tas usually yung mga ibang project, may mga more specific na kilometer this, kilometer that. Tapos, bakit nga may 3 iba't ibang pinagkukunan ng pondo or 3 amount? And finally, malaki po ito compared to other flood control projects na nakikita natin because in total, this is 379 million. And that's just the most glaring example that we found here. Yung sa mga doble pa, at least yung initial na paghahanap namin, totaling 939 million pesos na to. So almost 1 billion yan, di rin to biro, ano? May explanation po ba? Nasa GAA yan.
Opo. Ang explanation po sa akin ngayon, no, ang halimbawa, may isang ilog. Mukha pong kaya 3, kasi yung kunyari, ang gagawin pong flood control, halimbawa, 100 metro, halimbawa. No? Mukha pong naka-chop-chop into either phases or segments. No? Yun po ang pinapaliwanag nila sa akin ngayon. No? So, kaya po, kunyari, kung 300 metro yan, nagagawin, at yan retaining wall, halimbawa, 100 metro, 100 metro, 100 metro. Yun po ang kanilang pagpapaliwanag sa akin. So, pero, kailangan pong i-review talaga ito. No? O kailangan pong i-review ng maigi ito.
So may mga tanong, bakit hinati into 150 million each? Parang may rule ba na sinusunod? It cannot be more than 150 million? Kung ipopropose nyo yung proyekto, then you propose funding for the whole, di ba?
Mukha pong ang rason, and Madam Chair, permission to be frank, is dahil nga po merong limit sa district. Meaning above 150 million, yan po ay above na po ng distrito at yan po ay aakyat na sa region. So tingin ko po yun. No, mukha pong yun ang rason.
So in other words, this is a congressional initiative. Sabihin natin, ganun ba yun?
Hindi ko po masasabi yan, Mr. Chairman.
I don't know. No? I mean, bakit hinahati-hati? Tapos iba-iba yung source nga. Merong galing sa flood management, tapos meron naman SIPAG. Ano po ba yung SIPAG? Anong kaibahan ng dalawa? Kasi merong SIPAG, meron pang BIP. Tapos may flood management.
Hindi ko pa naiintindihan kung ano yung Sipag.
Yung mga, baka yung USEC nyo po, makasagot.
Yusek Adol.
Alam niyo yan, dahil
Ay,
matagal
sorry.
na yan.
Maybe either Director Bote or Yusek Cabral can respond. Pasensya na po, Madam
Opo.
Chair. Ako hindi
Your
pa
Honor,
pamilyar sa nomenclature dito sa DPWH.
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, yung BIP po ay Basic Infrastructure Program. Yan po ay mga lokal talagang mga proyekto, community-centric. Yung, kumbaga, sa community lang po nakaka-benefit. Yun pong sipag, local din po yan, pero interjurisdictional. So, ibig po sabihin, kung umuoko pa po yung project ng traverse po yung project ng municipality or provincial, nilalagay po sa sipag kasi hindi naman po yan, yan po yung mas malalaking project kaysa sa BIP. Kalamihan po sa BIP ay community-centric, like mga multipurpose building.
Okay.
Yan po.
Okay. Okay. So, tama ba yung paliwanag sa akin na yung sipag, pang senador, yung BIP, pang congressman?
Ay, hindi po, Your
magprangkahan
Honor.
na po tayo.
Hindi po, Your Honor.
Hindi
po,
yun,
Your
ha?
Honor.
Oh, okay. Pero may nagsabi kasi sa akin, ganun eh. Okay, mga local projects nominated by senators, yung sipag, tapos yung BIP, pang congressman. So, sinasabi nyo on the record, hindi po, hindi. Okay.
Hindi po.
Okay. Sige. Ngayon, so ito po, I'm flagging bakit may mga ganito. So, pwedeng may paliwanag naman, no? Pero aralin na po ni Secretary Dizon. Okay po ba yan, Secretary Dizon?
Opo. Talagang pipigitin po nating ma-address itong mga ito. No?
Okay. Now, sabi nyo kasi may mga limits, no? Kaya maaring hinahati-hati kasi nga may mga ceiling per project. Okay. Let me move on to the question of insertions. Actually, kung titignan nyo po yung compare NEP versus GAA, particularly just for the flood control related programs, makikita nyo po na talagang ang pattern, may sinasubmit sa NEP, pero yung na-approve sa GAA is significantly bigger. No? So for example, in 2025, yung flood management program ay in NEP it was 226 billion, but in the final GAA, in the GAA approved by Congress, naging 248 billion, nadagdagan ng 21 billion. No? Although of course, dito sa nakaraan Vinito, may Vinito na 7.4 billion for flood management. So naging 240 billion na lang. However, may 13 billion pa na nadagdag compared to the NEP. No? In another way of looking at it is, for example, in the NEP, total pages, no? Ang flood management, 106 pages, pero sa GA, naging 145 pages. So that's another way of looking at kung gaano karami yung mga insertions. Okay, ito na pong pupuntahan natin. Especially for these flood management programs, nakabatay po ba ito sa mga scientific studies? No? For example, is the approach based on studies of the actual river basins? At meron bang flood management plan para sa mga river basins? Meron po bang ganon? Sa lahat ng mga flood control projects?
Unang-una po, tingin ko po meron namang mga
the last
study.
question.
Pero po kung ang tanong nyo kung ang basehan nitong mga allocation na ito ay base sa mga study na yan, tingin ko po ang diretsong sagot ay hindi.
Okay, thank you for your candor, Secretary Vince. So talagang for the most part, hindi nakabatay sa mga scientific and technical studies for flood management, especially along the river basins. No? Kaya po ang nangyayari, patsi-patsi. No? Ang mga proyekto, 150 meters dito, 300 meters doon, hindi necessarily connected ang mga ito, kaya ineffective in flood management. Tama po ba? No? So,
Tama po.
so instead of scientific or technical, based on the actual needs of communities, ang nagiging basis po, nabanggit nyo rin kanina, may ceiling, 150 million dapat per district or whatever. Okay, so ang actual basis, although you will not find this in any memo or order, is political, well, we can call it patronage, equal division on a political basis. No? Dapat ang mga distrito may hating kapatid. Would it be fair to say that, Sec Dizon?
Thank you for the last question.
Hindi ko po masasabi yon, to be
Okay.
quite honest.
Hindi nyo
Pero-
masasabi yun.
Pero ang masasabi ko po ngayon is pipilitin po natin sa darating na 2026 budget, pipilitin po natin ibase na sa siyensya itong pagpapagawa ng mga flood control project na ito.
So my last intervention, Madam Chair, is, okay, hindi sinasabi ni Sec Dizon, ako na po magsasabi, na hindi po scientific ang batayan talaga, na batay sa pangangailangan ng tao, kung hindi sa partihan ng mga nakaupo. Ganun po ang sistema natin at ito po ang pangunahing problema. No, kailangan nating kapatid. Kaya titignan niyo yung flood management program, talagang kailangan lahat ng distrito meron.
Thank you.
Ganun
Thank you.
po. No? Kaya po, I will move, Madam Chair, and I would like the Secretary to respond to this. Pwede po bang para sa 2026 ay wala na po munang mga flood management programs along major river basins unless it is part of a master plan, no, na may scientific basis talaga, no? So in other words, hayaan na yung kung flood management para sa distrito, pwede naman yung sa mga canals, pwede sa drainage, pero pag along rivers, it has to be part of a part of the implementation of a long-term master plan. Otherwise, pag paisa-isa, wag na po nating payagan. Pwede po ba yun, Secretary?
Before we
Pwedeng-
solicit the response of Secretary Vince, with the permission of Representative Tino, that would be the last question po. Go ahead po, Sec Vince.
Opo, Madam Chair, pwede po yon at tingin ko yun na rin po ang sinabi ng ating chairperson kanina po nung minention po niya na isang magandang basihan ay yung flood zoning based on Project NOAA sa UP. So yan po ay isa pwede natin i-consider na maging basihan. Pero tama po kayo at yun po ang gagawin natin.
We're with you on that po, Representative Tino. I echo the response of Sec Vince Dizon. When we receive back the proposal of the DPWH, the proposed budget of DPWH, we will make sure that the flood control projects included therein would dalawa po yung criteria natin. One, dapat po red siya, tagged as a red zone in Project NOAA. And second po, hihingan po natin ng Regional Flood Mitigation Plan. Ang maganda din po sa Project NOAA, nakausap ko po si Professor Mahar Lagmay ng Project NOAA. Kaya din nila mag-simulate actually na kung linagyan dito saan pupunta yung tubig, maging epektibo ba yung isang proyekto. So kaya po yan, may ganong capability po yung Project NOAA. Kaya ayun po yung dahilan kung bakit po talagang we're strongly advocating for a scientific approach, a science-based approach to rationalizing the flood control programs na atin pong popondohan para sa taong 2026. So, with the permission of the body, we'll accommodate one more interpellator before we break for lunch. Deputy Speaker Janet Green, you have the floor po.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, Vince and the DPWH family. Secretary Vince, I know it was not yet your time, but may we ask the opinion of the DPWH? Alam naman natin marami at malaki ang kailangan, pero hanggang dito lang ang nakakayanan ng pondo ng Pilipinas. May I inquire how the allocation is distributed throughout the country? Do we consider the geographical area, geographical size, and the population, and what are the other parameters?
Madam Chair, with your permission, may I ask Undersecretary Cabral to respond to that, because I think there is some
Honor.
formula to this, which
Your Honor,
I
Mr.
must
Chair.
admit I'm not very familiar with yet.
Thank you, Secretary. Your Honor, Mr. Chair, yung past budget po, well, even in the current budget preparation, we consider the submission of the regional offices on the regional budget proposal, where they rank their priority projects wish list. And the instruction of the former Secretary Bonoan is to coordinate this with local government units and other stakeholders for endorsement by the Regional Development Council. And then po, meron pong consideration, yun pong ang formula na pinagawa ni Secretary based po dun sa among factors po, yung population, land area, infra-density. May konti pong premium yung top 20 poorest provinces, yun po, and contribution to GDP yata. So yun po yung baseline. Ibig po sabihin, wala pong bababa.
Madam Chair, if I may, pasensya na po, Yusek Cathy. May nasabi ka kasing may konting premium. In other words, the formula is not fixed.
Po?
Ang formula mo for the computation of ceiling ay hindi fixed.
Hindi, depende po dun sa mga factor na yon. Tapos it's an algorithmic formula. Yun pong legislative district ceiling ay na-consider po noong 2023, yun po yung the same legislative ceiling na ginagamit
Precisely,
po.
Madam Chair. Yung tanong ko, how did you reach that ceiling? Because listening to your answer, tila parang depende sa discretion ng isa or a few people ang nagiging ceiling.
Yun
So if
pong-
you can go direct to the if you can answer direct to the point, what is your formula of computing the ceiling on allocating the resources of the Department of Public Works and Highways?
Meron pong algorithmic formula na ginawa noong 2023 na diniscuss po ni Secretary Bonoan sa House leadership, including party leaders. At yun po ay inadjust po ng House of Representative.
Madam Chair, if I may, pasensya na Yusek Cathy kasi sayang yung oras ko. Ang pag-compute niyo po ng ceiling ay base pa lang sa NEP. Hindi pa dumarating sa Kongreso, wala ka pa nakakausap na party leader or whoever. Kaya yung computation nanggagaling sa opisina mo.
Opo.
So ibabalik ko po ang tanong, how do you compute the ceiling? Ulitin ko, ganito karami ang kailangan ng Pilipinas, ganito naman limitado ang pondo. How do you allocate the ceiling? Please give us the formula kung meron or wala.
Meron po. We can give you, Your Honor, the formula.
Please mention or state the formula.
It's actually a write-up. Nagsimula po to sa... Okay. Yun pong formula, meron pong part 1, equitable minimum allocation per region. So each region will receive a minimum basic budget allocation for equal opportunity for development. This is equivalent to the historical minimum allocation that regions receive from DPWH in the past formula. So yun po yung part A. The lowest among the average regional DPWH allocation from 2017 to 2022 over the average total DPWH allocation from 2017 to 2022. At ito po, ang computation po, so bawat region may computation. Ang lowest po na-compute ay 3.8%. So for 2023 po, at yun ang ginagamit taon-taon, the historical lowest allocation per region times the 2023 DPWH budget for regional distribution. Yun po yung para sa part na yun. Doon po naman sa minimum for infrastructure budget per person, so depende po ito sa population, formula for historical minimum infrastructure budget per person per year. Lowest is equal to lowest among the average DPWH regional allocation in 2017 to 2022 over the population of the region. Ang lowest po na nakuha sa region or is 3.100 per person per year. At yun po yung ginamit to compute the minimum per capita infrastructure allocation is equal to the historical lowest infrastructure per person per year times the region's total population. Yung next part po is the minimum infrastructure density per square kilometer for distribution towards balanced growth. Yung
Madam
areas
Chair, in the interest of time, can the Undersecretary confirm that the first district of Iloilo, despite a very huge geographical area and a high population with a huge density, got one of the lowest allocation over the years?
Ma'am, may I continue muna to
Hindi. Yeah, sige.
So yun pong next parameter po, areas that have higher geographical space. So land area po to, minimum infrastructure density per square kilometer for distribution towards balanced growth. Ang formula po for infrastructure density is equal to the lowest among the average DPW's regional allocation 2017 to 2022 over the total area in square kilometer. Ang lowest po, historical lowest annual infrastructure density times the region's total land area. Yung region muna po, 642,000 per square kilometer times the region's total land area. So yun pong tatlong parameter na yun po yung parameters 1A, 1B, and 1C identify the options for the minimum DPW's regional budget allocation as general guidelines. So among dito po, kinuha po yung largest among those three parameter, meaning
definite formula. And that is the problem. It becomes subject to personal decision of a few. Moving forward, meron din po kayong allocation, Madam Chair, Secretary, na parang yung allocation is 70-30 or 60-40, meaning 70% of the allocation of that constituency or the geographical area goes to national roads. I agree with that initially. However, nung nasa grounds na at i-connect ko ito dun sa mga problema ng ating mga kasamahan kanina. Kasi kapag pinilit na dun lang sa national road na pupunta yung pondo, yung mga daan na maayos ay pilit paulit-ulit na inaayos. However, example in my area, the Iloilo Antique Road is being maintained. Pero marami pa ang pwedeng mga bayan sa likod. You have Tubungan, Igbaras, Miagao, San Joaquin na pwedeng mag-cut papunta sa Antique, sa Kalibo. And there are a lot of roads that remains uncemented, hindi konkreto. And the problem is, if I may, and I hope the Honorable Secretary, I know he's very open-minded, will look into this. Kasi yung una, kapag tiningnan mo, walang mali siya. 70-30, o dito nyo lang ilagay sa national highway nyo, etong 30% lang para sa secondary roads. What happens? Either pipilitin ka na ipa-aspalto ang palagi ng ina-aspalto, or ipasemento at gigibain ang maayos na semento at uulitin. Pagkatapos, mapipilitan ngayon na bulk of that funds will be spent on flood control projects because flood control areas are within the gambit of national priority 70%. In other words, kung sasandalan lang natin ng FMR or yung LGU, hindi tayo makakaangat. And that is why my appeal to the Department of Public Works and Highways, do away with this formula. Kasi kapag napondohan na ng ilang taon ang highway na yan, bakit hindi natin ipasemento yung mga alternative routes papunta ng UP Visayas, papunta ng airport, papunta ng pier, papunta ng karatig na mga probinsya where our farmers can bring their products and even insurgency can actually be solved. May I get the wisdom of the Honorable Secretary if he is amenable to doing away with this? Kasi pasensya na po, maganda tingnan sa harap, pero yun ang nagiging bottleneck at napipilitan ilihis at ilipat ang pondo sa napakaraming walang kwentang flood control projects, though I am saying marami naman yung nasa tama.
Madam Chair, maraming salamat po. Actually, to be quite honest, Madam Chair, nung una pong pinagawanag din sa akin itong formulang to at hindi ko din po maintindihan. So I think we agree with the Congresswoman Garin that we need to simplify this. And to me, Madam Chair, it's quite simple kung ano po ang mga area na malalaki, ibig sabihin kailangan ng kalye, populated, kailangan ng mga citizens ng kalye, dapat po i-simplify na lang natin ang formula na ito. I think this formula is really meant to confuse, to be quite honest. No, komplikado po siya, parang sadya po ata yung pagiging komplikado nitong formulang to. At kailangan po natin i-simplify. Unfortunately, Madam Chair, I must be upfront with the committee that for the 2026 budget, mukhang hindi na po natin i-implement itong bagong formulang ito dahil kailangan pa pong i-review ito, kailangan po pong aralin, hindi po madali ito. So, pero makakaasa po kayo na isi-simplify po natin ito for the succeeding budgets. Maraming salamat po.
Yeah, thank you very
Madam
much,
Chair.
Secretary. Kung papayagan niyo lang ako, it's not only meant to confuse. It's meant to confuse, restrict, and shift away and ilihis yung pondo dun sa mga hindi naman sana kailangan. Last question, Mr. Secretary, if I may, Madam Chair. Napag-uusapan kasi kanina, ang dami-daming kailangan, kulang ang pondo. Will the Secretary agree na talagang tanggalin na mapondohan ng Department ng DPWH funds ang rock netting?
Absolutely po.
Cat's eye.
Absolutely po.
Yung paulit-ulit na pag-aaspalto sa mga maayos na daan.
Tama po yan. Kapag maayos po ang daan, hindi po dapat yan i-overlay.
Will the Honorable Secretary allow us to appeal na yung dun sa road users tax, instead of spending it on all signages, stickers, cat's eye, ilagay na lang po sa street lights or solar street lights ng national highways. Kasi nasa GAA po kasi, kasama pa rin yung mga signages na iba. But of course, if you all invest that on lighting, mas maliwanag, mas konti ang aksidente.
Pwede po yan, Madam Chair.
Mr. Secretary, with your presence, can you assure us na hindi na mauulit? Kasi paulit-ulit ng ilang taon, I think this goes back to 2019. Ngayon, andyan dyan sa 2026, yung sinasabi nating mga line na may kontrasenyas. Example, flood control project na merong package 1, package 2, package 3, the same section, the same amount. Section 1, Section 2, Section 3, the same package, the same amount. At meron pang isang kontrasenyas, yung mga amount na tila magkaiba or nakakapagtaka. Let's say 149,750,000, 48,500,000. Ever since, in my 6 years of terms in Congress, kapag merong pondo, binibid na